Hello all, I'd like to talk a little bit about the unnamed NPCs in the Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind. As we know, almost all NPCs in the game have a specific name. Like you walk into a dungeon and you kill a bandit, and you can tell his first name, his last name, his cognomen, his entire family history. But there are a select few NPCs that have generic names, and you can encounter many of them more than once. I've set up a list of all unnamed NPCs, but if I'm missing any, do let me know in the comments below. We'll go in order of release from base game to Tribunal to Bloodmoon. We'll rank them on their effect on the game, how memorable they are, their impact on the player, and stuff like that. First up is the Vampire Cattle. They can be found in Ashmelech, Galam Deus, Relith Ancestral Tomb, and Deuce Kashti. You'll encounter them when you're clearing out vampire lairs, or I guess if you want to join the vampires, you'll encounter them there too. I do not find myself favorable towards them. They're like the slaves you find in bandit dungeons, except they can't be freed. They just stand around even when you've killed their vampire masters. If you loot in front of them, they yell thief. They are offensively bad, they take up space, and they are not useful unless you're a vampire yourself and looking to absorb health from them. But then again, who willingly becomes a vampire in Morrowind unless you hate talking to NPCs, or doing the main quest, or you're going for the Elton brand? For that, I think they are an F tier. Next up is the Egg Miners. They can be found in the Ahalaradon, Asha'aha, and Panud egg mines. They are all male Dunmer with generic dialogue. I think they too are offensively bad because you find them in proximity to named egg miners. So when they're side by side like that, in comparison, they just seem quite bad. Just for the proximity to an easy comparison, I think they're an F tier. Well, not starting off strong, but the next one isn't even technically an NPC. This one is an Ascended Sleeper, but I'll lump all the Ash creatures in here with him as well. If you have high enough disposition, or calm them, they have unique dialogue to say. None of it really matters, but some of it is sad and some of it is funny. The Ash slaves talk about chairs, so I think they're very memorable, and Ascended Sleepers have grand souls, so I think that they have a high impact on the player. C will be the average, so I'll put them one higher, but I don't think they can go any higher than that, since they're not even technically NPCs, they're coded to be creatures. Next, we'll go over the guards. First one is the Hlalu Guard. They include the Melee Guard and the Sharpshooter. They're found in territories controlled by House Hlalu, but I usually don't see the Sharpshooter. I know there's a Sharpshooter in Saran, but I'm always hanging out in Balmora. Anyways, I think they're very forgettable, and they don't even do the job properly. Most people go to Balmora and steal the Sword of White Woe, and it's located in the guard tower, right underneath the guard's nose. So, very embarrassing. I cannot see them going any higher than average. The next guard is the Redoran Guard. You'll find them in Aldrune and other Redoran-controlled territories. They're the only great house that have female guards, so I guess that gives them a few points. However, their skirts are silly, and though on the other hand, they do have drip. Redoran guards wear extravagant clothing, while Hlalu only wears expensive, and Telvanni guards wear common. So of the three, they're the best dressed, so for that, I have to bump them up to a B. Next, the Telvanni guards, found in Telvanni territory. They have the coolest helmets with the highest enchant capacity in the game. They also have the coolest bone mode shield. However, when you fight them, they do summon greater bone walkers, which damages your attributes, and is really annoying to fight. So I think they have some positives, but I cannot give them higher than a B. The Imperial guards are found in Imperial territory. I would include both the normal Imperial guards and the company guard in here. They have funny faces and funny voice lines.
I could eat a baby's arse through a sewer grate.
But they don't stand out and are very generic, so I think I'll give them a C. Next is the Duke's Guard. They're found in Castle Ebonheart and are like the Imperial guards but better. They have silver flame slayers instead of Imperial broadswords, and they have unique armor. They're just altogether better and more memorable. I'll give them a tier better than the Imperial guards. The Ordinators are definitely iconic, found in the cantons of Vivec. I think they're definitely A tier. They're very iconic, however they're a bit rude. They call you scum.
We're watching you, scum.
And they don't like it when you wear their armor, which is a shame since it looks so cool. And it's the best medium armor in the base game. And not only do they get mad, they become hostile, so not great. I'll give them an A tier, but I think their attitude prevents an S. The Buoyant armigers, they're technically not guards, but they're the military order of Vivec. They can be found at Ghostgate and Molag Mar. I think with the unnamed Buoyant armigers, it's very disappointing since the high-ranking Buoyant armigers wear glass and Daedric, but the generic ones wear chitin, which looks silly. And I think it's the Egg Miner situation all over again. Being unnamed Buoyant armigers in proximity to all these named ones really makes you look like you don't even deserve attention. On that disappointing note, I think it's a D. Now we're into the DLCs. First is Tribunal, where we go to Mournhold. The High Ordinators are iconic, just like their cousins in Vivec, but unlike them, they don't get hostile when we wear their armor. For their acquiescence, I think they deserve S tier. Absolutely iconic. The Royal Guards are found in the Royal Palace, and I think they have a really iconic set of armor. Some of the pieces of the set are the strongest medium armor in the game. They're all over the promotional art for the DLC, and they're all hyped up in the main quest of the DLC. I think they're definitely a strong contender for A. Next up are all the unnamed NPCs of Bloodmoon. First are the Lunatics. These guys are actually werewolves. You hardly find them. They can spawn in the wilderness, but in the 2 times I've played through Bloodmoon, I've only met these guys once. and I think it was behind Thirsk Mead Hall, I randomly ran into a naked man. Anyways, I guess this also includes the werewolves that attack Skull Village. But anyways, utterly forgettable. These guys are bad, but not offensively so I think they're a D. Berserkers are found randomly on Solstheim, and they have a funny hat. They really don't have anything more than that. It's iconic, I think it makes them above average to go to a B tier. Next are the Frice Hags, ice mages who are associated with Kine of the Nordic Pantheon. They're very annoying to deal with, draining strength, summoning greater bone walkers, shooting magic, and wielding enchanted weapons. And the loot they drop isn't even that good. They don't even have armor. I'm gonna give them a D. The Reavers are found near the rivers and coastlines of Solstheim, and they attack in groups. They're not great, but they do drop some fur or iron armor. They're very generic enemies, but there's nothing wrong with them. I'll give them a C. The Smugglers are found in similar locations, except these guys have better armor, but they don't spawn with bows. They all just charge at you. By the time you're doing Bloodmoon's main quest, at that level, these Reavers and Smugglers will be no issue for you. I think they're quite average at a C tier. Next up are the Thirsk Workers. You've probably never seen them before because they're a part of the Mead Hall Massacre quest, but they only show up when the Thirsk Mead Hall is destroyed. However, you can't get into the building when they're working on it since the doors are boarded up. So if you somehow get into there, with mysticism or console commands, they'll tell you to get out. It's kind of funny, I think it's memorable, once you see it, it's hard to forget. So even though they don't really do anything, I think it's humorous enough to go above average to be given a B. Next is the Skull Honor Guard, found in the Skull Village. Their armor is iconic, their armor rating is better than Ebony. They are very cool and memorable, but they also do have faults. They're decked out to the nines, but when werewolves attack, they whine and have to ask for your help. For that, I think they're very iconic, but cannot be given an S. To me, they're an A. Lastly, finally, are the Unnamed Skull. So there are the Skull Hunter and the Skull Tracker, and they show up towards the end of the main quest if you side with Hircine. I usually side with the Skull, so I hardly ever encounter them. They're like the Honor Guards, but they have worse armor. Utterly average and forgettable. They are a C. That's all of the unnamed NPCs in the Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind. If I'm missing any, do let me know in the comments. Likewise, if you agree or disagree with any of the assessments made here. If you did enjoy, make sure you like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.